Hey, welcome to the DuckHill Workshop. My name is Ben, and I'm glad you're here. Today we're kicking off part 2 of the memorial flag case build. If you haven't seen part 1, if you're new to the channel, if you haven't seen part 1, go ahead and check it out here. And for those of you that are following along and have been waiting for this, today we are going to trim the liners to width. We are going to cut the rest of the face frame and attach that. Before we do that, we are going to trace and cut out the template for the front piece of glass and also for the back. And without further ado, let's get to it. All right, now that I've cut this out on the bandsaw, that totally doesn't fit because my bandsaw needs work, so I just rough cut it. It's not a precision instrument. We're pretty far away from our lines. We're going to throw this in the Mox and Vise and plane the edges so we get a good, clean, crisp fit. Let's do that now. All right, one of the things that I did while I was ill last week, I'm still not 100% out of the woods. But one of the things I did was I sharpened all my planes. So let's give them a workout. One other thing you'll notice if you've been paying attention to my Mox and Vise is that I don't have clamps on either side here. I've moved my clamps. I used a Forstner bit, this one. It is, does it tell me what size it is? I don't remember. I think this is like an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter, to drill holes through my bench. And I don't have any holdfasts, so I just used my short 6-inch F-clamps. I had to grind a little stop off the end so that it wouldn't come clean through, but now that holds that on, and it's so much more rock solid than it used to be. Now, anyways, let's do some planing. All right, so now we've trimmed this down to our lines. We have to check to make sure that it fits. And, oops. What's going on? Where are we? We're just, our corner down here is just a little proud. There it is. That fits very nicely. All right, so now I can take that into the hardware store, get a piece of glass cut. Make sure, double check that it fits in the back as well, because it will double as. Yes, it does. Beautiful. That'll double as the back of our case. Whoa, wild hair. Now that that is in, we can work on our front. So we've already cut this top miter. Obviously I haven't cut the bottom one, so this isn't going to fit right. Woohoo, something like that. So I've got to do that. I've got to lay out the bottom miters on this, and then once those are done and clamped in place, we'll be able to set that final one. Alright, so I have carefully clamped the two top frames to this. And now I'm just going to mark with the knife. And when I cut these, I am going to cut them a little bit long so that when I glue and nail them in place, then I'll be able to just plane and get a perfect snug fit. It's not quite perfect, but it's enough to let us mark out where the other one is. So. Alright, now there's just a little bit of a lip on the back, but that's going to allow me to glue this in place, flush trim these ends, and then plane the whole bottom of the case to be flush. So what we're going to do now is glue these in place. Alright, so glue up first means tape. I'm going to tape off all the edges, take my plugs out. I'm going to tape off all of the edges so we don't have to deal with squeeze out as much. It's like there's a fine line between using enough glue and using too much glue. And you still really do not want to starve your joints. It goes that way. So. The important edges have been sealed. I'm not going to worry about the bottom because I am going to put a board underneath these to get a little pedestal. Let's do this. Alright, so I took the clamps off. This is where we're at. I haven't put the bottom one on yet. That's what we're going to do right now. But before we do that, I just want to tell you, I went to town to get glass. I took my template in, and you know, of course it's it was what, 5 o'clock. I went to a local hardware store, and unfortunately, I don't know if he was new or what, he couldn't figure out how to cut plexiglass in a triangle. Based on what they have, I don't know how to do that either. You know, they've just got the straight cutter and plexi. You've got to like score and score and score and then crack. So I don't know how to do that by hand, and I don't know if they had the equipment to do it by hand or not. But I don't have glass, and I left the pattern there and, you know, my contact info, so hopefully they'll call me tomorrow and say that they've cut it. Otherwise I have to go somewhere else. But that's just the quick aside. Let's put this on and be ready to put glass in when it gets back. Super easy. All right, there it is, all glued up, face frame and everything. And now the downside is it seems like the hardware store can't cut my glass. I gave him an extra day because I like supporting local businesses, which is my own fault. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Supporting local businesses is good. Supporting a business that I usually work with instead of one that does the job specifically that I need them to do. So I'm gonna pick up my pattern and take it to the local glass shop, but I don't have time to film that, get this done, and then get back to my apartment and my wife and finish our storage garage shelves. So we're gonna go into part 3. I really wanted to finish this in 2 parts for you, but part 3, we're gonna put glass in, we're gonna put the liners in, we're gonna put the back on, well, we're gonna put the flag in, put finish on before that. I'm all discombobulated, but right now we're just gonna trim these flush, plane, and sand the outside of the case. So let's do that. All right, guys, apparently I didn't actually hit play after I sawed off the ends of our face frame, but everything is planed and trimmed down to size. I wanted to get the flag just to at least show you what it's gonna look like. And also I realized that this flag has been sitting for a while now and needs to be refolded. It's pretty loose and we don't have the proper alignment of the stars on the front. So that will get done. Maybe I'll do an independent video on how to fold a flag. We'll see. But for the time being, this can get sanded and get a little bit of finish on it. And then hopefully next week we will have glass and we will have everything buttoned up and ready to show you. So until next time, guys.